In my last video, you asked me to talk more about my favorite indicator I use daily in my trading sessions, fractal highs and fractal lows. They show up on your chart like this. As we can see, we've got the red dots and we've got the green dots. Now we know what we're looking for. Let's get it installed. Go up to indicators, type in swing high. You want to add the one here that says Matus BitMEX. Add that onto our chart. You want to double click on the indicator, bring up the settings panel. Let's hide all of these for now, so they're hidden. Let's come over to swing one, high and low. Typically we want to change them to green and red, show direction. Come over to input. Let's change swing high length to 15, length 2 to 15, and that is that completed. Now we have the fractal indicator on our chart with the settings that I use to follow the correct intentions in my session. Everyone within our community, everyone within NJAT has this on their chart. It's one of those important tools that we can use daily. Before we get into the benefits of having this on our chart, let's get familiar with it. Right now, we're on a 12-hour time frame, and we can see that we have the highs and lows that are presented to us. As you saw from my previous video, we know that these are points of observations. We want to care about these locations because we know it's at these points that the BFIs have shown their intentions for higher or lower prices. Typically, what we want to be doing is trading in that fractal direction. So if we have a fractal high printed, we want to be trading to the downside. If we have a fractal low printed, we want to be trading to the upside. As we move through our time frames, we'll see we get the same representation of low fractals being created, high fractals being created. Let's go down even lower to a 15-minute. We see the same representation of price, high prices, low prices, and we can see these fractal indicators presenting to us. Let's go down to the 1 minute. We can see here within a trading session, they are presented to us over time. And it's these locations, it's these points in price that we can make ourselves aware of, and we can start making accurate trading decisions. As I said, typically when a fractal low is printed, we want to be trading away from it. And when a fractal high is printed, we want to be trading away from it. When we see these fractal highs and fractal lows presenting themselves in the market at certain locations, we can start to follow the direction in the market and take trades in that intention. This indicator is allowing us to have that ease of observation. We can see how this is plotted across our time frames. Let's quickly think about how fractals are created. We need to see a representation of 3 candles, and those candles are going to be showing us their intentions. So what can we see? We can see typically price create a high, we'll move down, we'll create a higher high, we'll move down, we'll come up, create a lower high, and then create a lower low. And then we can see we're presented with 3 highs. These would be wicks typically, and then we see price move away in the opposite direction. Now, this is a fractal observation, of course. We can see this happen over multiple time frames. And what we know is that it's at this point, it's at this price level that the BFIs showed their intentions to move prices lower. This is typically where we will see fractal be presented to us. And then what we want to do is see price continue in that bearish direction. Now, if we become unclear on what the market should do, we can always think back to this fractal concept. If we have seen a fractal high being created, then that could be the intention for lower prices being presented to us. So then we must start to look for that showcase of lower prices, and vice versa. If we do start to see then price slow down and start to create again that fractal price delivery and move away, then we know that there's been an intention that has been presented in the market at this price level. We know who's doing that and that manipulation, and we're seeing price then move higher in that bullish direction. If we're going to see this intention follow through, we want to see continuation. So then when price does start to pull back and does start to create those higher lows, we can start to assume that it's this fractal, this low, this intention that the BFI has created that is currently driving higher prices. You will gain long-term benefits if you're using this indicator daily. It's going to give you those entry confirmations that you need in order to be a participant in your trades. We should be placing trades that show fractals. If your trade entry is not close to a fractal shown, then you have identified an area that you can improve in. Becoming part of the mitigation phase in the RIMC method, allowing you to be more precise and catch more RR in your trade. Think about this. If your trades are far away from the fractals, what in price can give you the opportunity to be more precise, to have a smaller stop, and to catch the right direction? Likely, if we're seeing that these fractals are showing us the intention in price, and that's where we can see intention started, and we can follow that intention for higher prices, then perhaps we can be a part of it sooner than you currently are. And this is what the RMC method is going to allow you to do. It makes it easier for you to identify those turning points in price. It's here where we see the activities of the BFIs, and you are going to be following those large money orders that are driving the market. You're going to be training your eyes to see the correct locations because they show the intention in the market. Repeating this on a daily basis, you're going to start to become aware of those likely locations price is going to turn, and you can start to be a part of the correct intention. And lastly, guys, most importantly, you can validate the correct highs and the correct lows and overall build your confidence and skill. This will speed up your route to success by not worrying about understanding price, because you will be able to understand the direction. You'll be more focused on using our edge to your advantage to end our session flawlessly. So here's a quick snippet of a trade that I'm in today, using this fractal indicator helping me make decisions. We can see that we had intention that entered the market, and we can see quite obviously that intention was bearish. Knowing that has left a range in price. When price returned to this location, I was thinking about becoming a participant for lower prices, and on a lower time frame, I did see a fractal present itself, and then I started to trade in that fractal direction. Nice to see. When that low was taken, and we did see a lack of extension for lower prices, once again, you can see a fractal presented here on the low of this candle. I just zoom in here, and you can see my trade is taken in that direction. Now, this is the 15-minute chart. We can see right now it's given us multiple observations. It's given us liquidity to aim for, to target. It's allowed us to see perhaps a change of intention in the market at these lows, potentially going on to take previous highs. So down to that 1 minute time frame, here's the trade that I did execute during my session for range, initiation, mitigation, continuation. Price did continue, but it did take me out for break even. We was able to capture that right direction. We're looking for this delivery at a place where we can see that reaction at a previous range. And of course, then we're following that lower time frame momentum that has been shown to us for lower prices here. So here's the short trade following that mitigation process from that fractal high that was created. Again, trading away from that high time frame fractal delivered at a point of mitigation and playing that mitigation continuation for lower prices. So very nice to be a part of. When we talk about the bullish delivery now, moving below previous lows into a point of mitigation, we can see there's a lack of extension shown here. And then we do see price move in the opposite direction, giving us that low, lower low. Now I'm anticipating a higher low coming into the market. We do have a previous range that's been presented to us, and my entry was taken at the range for mitigation continuation following that reversal in price. We're not just trading anywhere. We are focusing on those higher time frame swing points. It's at these locations that we're making decisions. Back onto the 15-minute, you can see how these points now are making me aware of what can come next. And of course, now we've moved into this edge, this high, we're going to see if we're going through that process of mitigation from the prices, or we continue this bullish narrative to move higher into price. A nice opportunity here, seeing how we can use it in our session for opportunity. We can then see how this trade plays out following and utilizing that fractal indicator.